Hello and welcome to My Body, My Power podcast, where we shine our light, claim our worth, and empower the next generation. I'm your host, Kristen Rubis, a heart-led entrepreneur, mentor, and the creator behind the My Body, My Power movement. Here, we uncover authenticity, celebrate self-expression, and create a life and career that lights up the world. Welcome, Goddess. Let's dive in. Hello, My Body, My Power podcast friends. Welcome back to our next episode of the My Body, My Power podcast. I'm your host, Kristen, and I'm deeply grateful to be spending some time with Shantala today for our awesome interview. Welcome.
Thank you. Love this, the whole setup. I'm so glad to be here.
Yay, me too. I'm very excited to meet you. We're new to each other, so it's really exciting to have a conversation and get to know you and support you. And so why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and the amazing work you're doing in the world?
Wow, I love this. So my company is called My Alchemist, and I am actually a psychospiritual therapist. It's a lot of people want to know, what is a psychospiritual therapist? So I work with spirit. I actually, channel, and I really get into the nitty gritty of the emotions that people don't connect with. They don't realize that there's a 4-body system. So there's, the mind, there's the emotions, there's the body, and then there's the soul. So psychospiritual therapist does the holistic approach of all of those things and everything. So my work it's pretty amazing. I do what I call quantum realm coaching. It's coding people. I am a projector in human design. So I have a lot of frequencies that I absorb and I naturally connect to, and life experiences that activate certain frequencies in coding. So my vocal voice, as well as my physical presence, it's constantly shooting rainbow beams at whoever I'm interacting with, whether you're on screen, whether you're live, whatever it is. It's like you're getting an active coding. And so I didn't know that. It's been going down since it activated when I was 4 years old. And so I didn't know that's why people kept coming up to me to say, hey, and I'd just be doing my own thing with the dandelion on the floor, Wow. So, yeah. And one of the cool things about what I do, it started because of my brother. My brother's life situation. The two of us were really tight growing up and everything, and we both had on again, off again health issues. A lot of those health issues were genetic, like they were inherited, and underlying stress factors in our lives triggered those autoimmune conditions. So mine was a simpler one that, medication and meditation and spiritual work and calming the body, it was easier for me to come out of relapse. And for my brother, he had a more chronic form where he actually lost kidney function at a young age. So when that happened, our entire family had to vibe together to figure out how to get his situation handled and everything. So that was kind of the time that I got pulled into the spirit world. I actually trained and went to school for diplomacy and international relations. Wow. So I was designed to go the State Department route. I was working for the International Criminal Court. I was working for the United Nations Council in Washington, D.C. Wow. So I was diplomatic bound, and my life changed when my brother received a kidney transplant, and his life changed around. But he jumped back into life very quickly. He gave himself 6 weeks to go back to college post-surgery. Girl, you take some time and decompress. Whoa. Yeah. So that's what triggered the unusual side effect. When you receive an organ donation, we're talking about body. So when you receive an organ donation, cellular memory of the previous donor. So it was my dad's sister who he received from, half sister he received from, and she had bipolar disorder as a child. And that wasn't reported, to the doctors when they were doing the investigations and whatnot.
Okay. Wow.
So when he returned to school so quickly, to college, to university so quickly, there was a lot of stress and angst about catching up, being all, doing everything, mind-body separation. And then the anti-rejection medications, there's a 1 in a million side effect of paranoia that happens to people who are on that particular medication.
Wow.
So it's like all these factors lined up. The kidney aspect is the ancestral inherited lineage.
Okay.
And then the medication side effect, 1 in a million, it hits young South Asian men in their 20s to 20 to 24 during trauma and crazy and paranoia and everything. So he developed bipolar disorder within 2 years. And that was the time I was working in DC. And I was actually delegating the conference for the United Nations. And I got a call. I got a call from my mom's at home. Your bro's got mania. He's like having a manic attack, like, symptoms. He's not quite sure who he is, and the voices are talking. So I packed up my stuff. I moved back home. And I want to use the positive words here. I used to say, in my younger days, I was dragged into this world kicking and screaming. But honestly, I freaking volunteered. My soul knew that this is where I was supposed to be. So I was just not headed in that direction. So the ancestors' life, the spirit, guided me into this route because I'm designed to be a healer. I'm designed to be an activator. I'm designed to be a guide of spirit force, life force, and everything. So he was like the benevolent instrument that brought me in.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah. It's how,
life then, once you move back home and
once I moved back home, I trained as a life coach. I started getting my Reiki, one after another Reiki certifications. I started learning soul retrieval, and I became an initiated shaman from two separate tribes. I trained in Egyptian Sekhmet Reiki, which is, that's kind of like getting into witchcraft as well, because it's working with your Sahu, your, highest self. And so all along the way, I was also dabbling into my craft as well, not realizing that was also a part of the pathway of, it's like shortcuts.
Yeah.
It's a shortcut pathway for folks who can't dive deep into spirit as I naturally can, because it's a genetic trait of our family lineage. My family comes from India, so we're Brahmin, and we have been practicing rituals for 500 plus years. So that part is in my blood. But when I growing up in America, being an American citizen and everything, it's like you're exposed to the version of shamanism here, and it all clicks in. It's like, oh, this is the Western side of my field.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's incredible to be able to actually be aware of both sides.
Yeah. Yeah. Because dual personalities, right? It's like there's that Indian heritage that has the blood that knows how to channel your past lives and explain to you, hey, girl, that relationship you got with your man, you were actually brother and sister in your last life, and you fucking hated each other, and now you're here to love each other. Pardon my French, but yeah, you're doing a redo here. So, but it's cool to go back and forth between, traditions, and now it's completely enmeshed. It's it works. Wow. It's really cool. Yeah.
And how long did you stay home to support him and kind of get more of your craft in line?
It has been 15 years.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm also, I do have dual professions. While I am a healer, a master healer, and psychospiritual therapist, I am also an actor. So I'm a healer and a storyteller. And as a storyteller, we enact the emotions on screen through our bodies that other people need to watch, receive, and feel and emote themselves. When people watch television and film, they like experience the emotions and the feelings and the things that they don't get to experience in real life, because maybe they're suppressed, or maybe their life situations, the people that they're connected to, don't allow for that development to happen. So both being a healer and a storyteller like that, that's what got my specialty, my mastery in this life, is emotional intelligence.
Wow. Very cool. What a pathway.
Absolutely.
How is your brother doing now?
So he's actually given us a big gift. He passed away 7 years ago.
Okay.
But because the voices in the head, he gave it a go for 10 years with the new kidney, and 12 years actually. And he did fairly well, but then it's like the highs and the lows, the highs and the lows. The voices in the head told him to stop taking the medications, the anti-rejection medications. They're killing you. And so he did. And then he came to me and he asked me to be his advocate for hospice. Wow. And so I never doubted it. The moment he came to me, the moment he asked and everything, I stepped up and I became his advocate. I became his doula. I learned what it feels like to be a young South Asian American man in the system and not be able to talk about your feelings and what's going on. So I gave him that space. He was my first client, girl. In 2010, he was my first client.
Wow. That's a journey.
Yeah.
Bless him.
Yes.
He got to be your teacher and your guide as well.
Yes, he was a Taurus. He was born. His season just passed, so he was a Taurus. And I laugh because the day he passed was May 12th, 7 years ago, and the full moon in Scorpio happened on May 12th this year, just last month. And the reason it's so like spiritual, that particular date that comes every 7 years, is because in Vedic astrology, we call it the Buddha moon. It's Buddha Purnami. Purnami is the Sanskrit word for full moon. And it's the day that the Buddha, he was born. The day that he sat, that same full moon, he sat under the Bodhi tree and received enlightenment. When he left his palace and left all like material desires, and he received enlightenment, and he taught his entire life, because he was a Maharaja, he was a huge king, he was like born into the lap of luxury. So when he was born, he received that prediction, like a psychic told his father, he's either going to be a great wisdom teacher, or he's going to be a great king, but neither one, or it's either one or the other. And so his dad actually blocked him off from all common life. Anytime he would leave the palace, they would like move all the poor people, move all the homeless people, move all the handicapped people. And they wouldn't let him see any pain or shame or sadness or anything that would impact his heart. Wow. So he was guided, he was protected and everything. And then all of a sudden, one day, he witnessed a death, a dead body. He'd never known a dead body. He witnessed a dead body. So that's when he left the palace. He goes to the forest, sits under the Bodhi tree. That was May 12th. And full moon in Scorpio. So, yes. And then the day he passed was also the same moon and everything. So I was like, I mean, you can't make this up. Like, the things. Yeah. Yeah.
And good on you that you're tapped into all of it and that you can feel that significance and just receive that. It's a blessing for you as well.
Yes, thank you so much for noticing that. I really feel that love from you.
Good. Yeah, that's a profound. I got chills. Maybe you can see it on YouTube, but I can't see it on Spotify. Yeah, wow. Just how we come into our gifts and our journey and our path and what leads us that way. And people coming in, people going out. Like, it's just profound, this journey that we have as spiritual beings in this human suit, just navigating the ups and downs, the gifts, the opportunities, all of it. It's profound.
Yeah. I feel like nature will find a way. Like they say in Jurassic Park, they tried to keep the T-Rexes in one place, and they keep the predators in one place and the plant eaters in one place. And then nature will find a way. So, you know, and it does. It does. If you're meant to be doing something, if you're meant to be bringing something into this world, if you're meant to be impacting other humans, you're going to have your dark nights of the soul. You're going to face the deepest of the deeps, right? And in order to, you can't go into the greatest of the greats unless you know the deepest darknesses, because you can't see the light. When you see the light, you won't recognize it.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you. That's beautiful. Yeah, I think even Camille on her live on Tuesday was just, you can't have the light without the dark, and opposites, like it's the binary world that we live in, but it's true. It's like if you have such deep sorrow, you're going to have such deep joy. And if you've got such deep darkness, you're going to have such immense light. And but both have to be there.
Yeah, I feel like it's the reason for that. As you're speaking, I'm like suddenly channeling like the reason for that, the binary part, is the capacity. It's like the capacity to hold the light, your physicality, your physical body. Like, how many times have I made a joke in our group that we're 5D beings in a third dimensional body living in a 4D ego realm with complete and total amnesia? So in order to have the capacity to see the light, to receive the light, even if you are the light, some people are born as the light, but to be able to have the capacity to hold it, it's like nature will give you massive darknesses to allow for your physical frame to hold it.
Wow. Thank you. That's beautiful. I love hearing stuff like that. And just, you have an eloquent way of explaining things. I'm just like eating your words up.
I love that. I love to be eaten up. I mentioned Hot Girl Summer, right? You did. But yeah, like when
share on that path.
On that path, I will say that for some reason on that path, even though now I'm in a space of like deep healing, I'm in a space of deep receiving, deep, like I have the ability to give. So on that path, I think the one thing I would like to say is that I functioned at full depletion.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
So the deep sorrow that I'm talking about has to do with body, and we'll get into that later when we're having more conversation. That led to like my health issues that like rose out of over service. So I will say that that's something I would love. That's a piece of advice I would love to give the other wisdom guides, the other healers, the other people who are drawn from one life path into a destiny and whatnot. It's, you can only deliver from a full cup, and delivering your light from depletion, delivering your message, delivering your wisdom, your gifts and everything that have to be shared from a place of over service. It doesn't matter what type you are, a generator, projector, like Manny Gen, reflector, doesn't matter. Everyone has the capacity to be of over service because we want to be seen, we want to be felt, we want to be heard. And if we're not, we pull people and hold on to people, even though nature and spirit and God, it's like they're trying to weed out those who have evolved beyond you. And so it's like, we don't recognize that, like as kids or as teenagers or even as young adults, we don't recognize that's what's happening. We just feel the sorrow of like, but my bunny rabbit, why friend, why are you leaving? And it's like, it took up until now at 44 years old to understand that evolution happens to bring in even more intimates who can match your new vibration. Match your new vibration. And it's like, it's the ego part of the 4-body mind, the 4-body system that says, no, stay on this step. And nature is like, no, girl, we got a whole spiral for you to go through. Let's go, baby. Rise.
Rise. Yes. Yeah, but just that you're in that space that you could receive that and rise.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I will say that on a personal level, I can't speak for everyone who goes through this journey of the dark night, dark nights of the soul and whatnot. But I will say for myself, I will say that my ancestors are phenomenal rock bombs. Like seriously, I can genuinely, honestly feel, I tell this to my clients all the time, that you are the greatest gift that your ancestors cried and prayed for when they were lying in the mud hoping that their descendant had a better life. I have the better life. I am exactly the gem and the jewel that they requested. And that's it. That understanding is the key. That's like you asked me, what is the one underlying message? The depletion aspect. Don't serve from a space of depletion. Always serve from a place of overflow. And that overflow comes when you allow your people, when you allow spirit in to like guide and shift and move and change. We are literally the queens of this existence, and we have to learn to put the requests in. Program the frequency.
Thank you. A woman, amen to that.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
Thank you. That's incredible. Yeah, I'm just like letting that soak in for a moment. Listeners, let's take a deep breath.
Right?
Well, what was a defining moment in your life that changed the way you see yourself in the world? And you may have already answered it, but expand or share other parts.
So I do have an interesting story to tell you about that. And it has to do with my storyteller life, my actor life. The last time that I had to hospitalize my brother was in 2015. And it was like a chaotic time. I was dating a boy at that time. And so we did the naughty on New Year's Eve. And it was great. And he was so blown away. He was so blown away that he stopped talking to me for 2 months because he couldn't handle how good our connection was. And that's fine. You do you, boo. I'm not going to chase after you, right? I didn't realize that our encounter, this is the body part, had started a silent UTI that was ongoing with no symptoms. I just knew that I was fatigued. I was like I went to see the doctor. They misdiagnosed me with IBS. So that autoimmune condition that I was telling you about that gets triggered, through stressful, interactions. So it was the fact that in April, I received an invitation to move to Los Angeles, to go to Hollywood and be a part of an acting program where you are directly working with producers and casting directors in Hollywood for television and film and everything. Like it's a conservatory program. You audition. It was really powerful. I was all set. I had my materials. I had my drama script. I had my comedy script, ready to go. My scenes. You got 3 pages of each, your spiel. Your headshots are all set and everything. So I had this silent infection going through my body and things were going up and down. I had just had to call the police and had them help me, put my brother in the hospital, get treatment, all that stuff. 3 days later, I'm moving to Los Angeles and I'm exhausted. I'm tired. Within 24 hours, the program started and I delivered. I literally booked Grey's Anatomy. I booked Scandal. I'm getting ready to shoot these shows. And all of a sudden, 2 days before I start I have to report for shooting. I did the fitting for the show. It was a co-star role, like a small little thing, But it's like 2 days before, I was like, my body did not feel okay. I was like bloated and like my feet were like, my ankles were super swollen. And I'm like, this is not okay. So I went to urgent care. And there was an Argentinian American doctor on call who took care of me, whose name was Michael. We'll call him Archangel Michael because we're in the city of angels, like it's like all this stuff, it ties in. And this guy, he took all the vitals and he's like, you're sick. you're not okay. Like, it was a silent UTI was turning into a kidney infection. And it was not detected. It was not detected. They didn't do the right blood work. They didn't get the right vials. He puts his assistant, who's working at the front desk, his PA, his physician's assistant, in an Uber. He orders me an Uber. He puts his assistant in the Uber with me and sends me to Beverly Hills Cedar Sinai Hospital, and sends me off. Like, I'm telling you, it's like you can't make this stuff up when spirit is guiding the way. And it's like you surrender, you completely, like, in the hands of God or whatnot. And all this stuff just happened miraculously. Like, so I was in the waiting room. They took me to a room, and they, did all the tests to, determine like what the symptoms are, what's going on and everything. All the blood work and all the test results were saying that I was like literally in multi-system failure. It was insane. That's what the tests were showing. They had to they had a 12-inch needle that they had to put like in the belly and withdraw 16 cc's of fluid. And it's all clear fluid. There's no infection. It's all clear fluid. So that, and so they put me in the room. The cardiologist is coming. Everybody's coming. They're giving me heparin. Like, all this stuff is going on, right? They can't understand. I don't have like they don't have a set diagnosis for me, because like the angels and the gods are all working all these miracles to like keep everything in limbo. So the blood work and the urine sample, like everything is like showing different results as in multi-system failure. But my body, it's like perfectly, like it's all the CT scans and the x-rays look great. Like there's no dichotomy between like what's happening, what they're seeing, and what the results are showing. So I was in hospital for 10 days, and they did, give me medications and everything. And I responded really, really quickly. And it turns out the autoimmune condition, the minimal change disease, it's due to stress and outside triggers. And the outside trigger was a sexual escapade with an ex. That was the trigger to my Persephone's, descent into the underworld and tasting of the fruits of hell.
Wow.
And then being taken to the Cedar Sinai West Beverly Hills Hospital. I was in the penthouse suite, like on Medicare, in the penthouse suite on the top floor of the hospital, and right outside. And mine was the corner window. It had windows on the left and windows on the right, and it was the Hollywood sign. That's where the Hollywood angels are. Like, I'm just, yeah. That's it. And so it's like your original question of what was the big struggle that turned into power. Mm-hmm. It was that I am not what I think I am. I'm not who I think I am. I'm not what I think I am. I'm something far greater than I could have ever imagined.
Wow. Amazing. That's profound.
Right.
And then you obviously didn't do that interview. Did you ever go back for that audition?
Oh, no, it was a shoot. I had my temporary agent. I had a temporary agent while I was in town for that program. Had to, call them and tell them she's hospitalized. I'm sorry, you're going to have to take the understudy. So I didn't get to shoot that show and whatnot. But it's a hell of a story that I tell every time I meet like industry people, and they're like, "Wait, what?" So, yeah, but these kind of things happen. It wasn't the right time. It was the time that I needed to come home and recover and come back into my own body and everything. Mm-hmm. Being a storyteller is something that is dear to me in this lifetime. But like what I was telling you about ancestral healing, that is the incident that got me into ancestral healing, because your body holds the genetic coding of what your people believe. And acting is not a career that has ever been in either side.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So those who are protecting you are like, no. And there's fear, but it's never been done before. It's never been done before. One of my mentors, Jody Shields, she's a master projector. She does Magnificent Money Academy, and she's just a phenomenal teacher. So I'm training on enhancing my projector skills and abilities and ways of living through her. And she explained really eloquently that, the left side is your feminine side, it's mom's lineage, and the right side is your paternal side, your father's lineage. And so by actually activating both sides of the lineage and then making sure each ancestor is, as the latest descendant, I am in charge. I am the legacy, so I'm in charge. You physically verbalize and put each family member in their correct seat. And this includes children that may have been neglected if they were sick or handicapped, abandoned, calling them back to their seat. You can sit there. Calling back people who, maybe women who were abused and, left in shame or died in shame, people who were attacked, those, the unhappy souls or whatnot. It's like if something happened to them that they're afraid of, they don't want you to suffer the same way they did. So that is activated in your genetic coding. Wow. So putting everyone back in their correct seats and allowing the change to happen. And then there's a frequency code that we use. I forgives myself. I, big me, universal me, 10D me, forgives little me. And you give that code to your ancestors to clean up their stuff. And that's what causes the releasing of us holding all their drama and trauma. I learned that fairly recently in the past 5 years, but that was part of my brother activating that journey for me because he carried the full brunt of ancestral stuff. Wow. Like 7 generations that boy carried and everything. So it's like, it's a really good dichotomy, similar to Camille's story about how she tells us between her brother and the way he passed, my brother and the way he passed, and how both of them are guiding spirits from the spirit realm and doing the heavy lifting.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Whew. Keep getting filled all over the place.
Is it time for a lychee martini yet?
We got a few more questions.
Oh no, I meant in the conversation.
Oh, yes.
In the conversation.
All right. Well, what's the best piece of advice you have for stepping into greater self-worth and empowerment?
It's truly simple. And I really, really want to make sure that it comes across as the most powerful thing that people, anybody listening to your words and our time together, really take it in and turn it into a master code. And the highest form of radical self-expression is feeling fully comfortable in your own skin. Free of judgment, free of, oh, this could be a little better. This could be a little better. Oh, this, like I've got, I may look cute right now, but there's, arthritis here. There's this, whatever. Feeling comfortable in your own skin at all times. I'm not talking being healthy, being overweight. I'm not talking about that kind of comfort. I'm talking about like radical self-acceptance of like, this is where I'm at and this is fucking phenomenal.
Yes, thank you.
And that auric
in all of our life transitions and all of our developmental stages. And because I teach young girls and I teach women, and it's like I can teach the same curriculum for an 8-year-old and a 58-year-old because everyone needs self-care, self-love, positive self-image, all those things. And that's my biggest thing is when you can be comfortable in your own skin, like Nothing can really, you can't take that away. Like once you have that power within and you recognize it, like you can't take it away. Like it's ours forever.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I would absolutely love to share the key to getting comfortable in your own skin. Is it okay to share that frequency code with you?
Thank you.
Okay. All right, cool. We're going to get into this. It's the first thing I say with the four body mind system, right? We're going to say, hey, mind, I want you to go sit with God right now. You snap your fingers and you take that deep breath. Then you say, hey, emotions, you got to go sit with God right now. Do the snap, deep breath. We can already feel like the blankness. And then you say, body, you got to go sit with God right now. Yep, you too. And then take a deep breath. So now it'll feel blank slate. It'll feel like an open awakeness. It'll feel like space. And then you say the words, hey, little girl. Hey, inner child. Soul. Show me what you feel like. Show me what your bliss feels like. Show me what it feels like to be you all day, every day. Yes, yes, yes. Now increase that frequency 1,000-fold. So now you're powered up. And the last step, the final step is you call all bits and pieces of your power back home to yourself from all spaces that you have left it in this lifetime. I step back from this day. I step back from this month. I step back from this year. Step back, step back, step back. 10 years, 20 years, 44 years. I'm going to step back to initial ignition. And I actively step in to the quantum realm portal and breathe. And the last piece is as you're breathing, with every exhale, you feel your auric field going out 100 feet, 500 feet, 1,000 feet, covering your town, covering your state, covering your country, covering your globe. And as you're exhaling and you're feeling, you feel the earth beneath your feet. You are the sovereign of this realm. I am the sovereign of this realm. I am the sovereign of this realm. And that is the ultimate expression of comfy in your own skin. I am the one.
Thank you. That was powerful. I'm like, whoo, swirly.
Right? So speedy. So speedy.
Goodness, so speedy.
Yes. Girl, you can do it in the car at a red light.
With your giggles.
Yes.
Wow, thank you. That's perfect. Another tool for our listeners, which is so awesome. I love giving more tools. Okay, what does my body, my power mean to you?
My body, my power means to me. We are so privileged to be in this physical form. We volunteered. Those of us that are in this work, that do this work, that play with spirit, that play with the quantum realm, that get into craft, we're so privileged that we volunteer to be in a physical human body to experience. It's like spirit only gets to, they don't have forms. It doesn't get to experience all the emotional aspect of having body, having emotions, sitting with this. Like, our eyes are the windows of the soul, and the soul is the divinity that gets to view what it feels like to be infinitely human. So my body, my power is that you are a divine being living in this exquisite, fragile form with so much power. Girl, use it. Channel that. And play.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
More play.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Beautiful.
Yes.
Well, I think you already covered this, but how did you discover your unique gifts or message, and how are you using them to serve others? You kind of have covered that, but is there anything else to add to that?
I have a tagline on under my alchemist, the title on my page. Saving humankind one being at a time. Nice. And it's like, it makes me laugh now because like it was so long ago. It was like it was 2010 when I first like started putting my services out there. And it just amuses me that at that time I was worried about what people would think. Like, oh, do they think I'm highfalutin? That I'm like a savior or something? But some voice inside insisted, this is what you're doing. And no matter how many times I tried to come up with a new tagline, it wouldn't come up. It wouldn't change. It wouldn't, and then just leave it. It's like, it's done. It's on the site, And now I really understand. You have to own the big, grandiose Jupiterian concepts and ideas and hits and insights that come your way, because you are not here. If you're watching this podcast, baby, you're not here to play small. You are not here to play small. You are here because you have impact to leave. You have legacy to leave. You are literally here to change thousands and thousands of lives by the tiniest movements. Yeah.
Woo! Thank you. You're a rock star. I'm so enjoying this conversation. Okay, you did. I'm just going to keep going with all the questions. What does radical self-expression mean to you, and how has it played a role in your journey?
For me, radical self-expression, it took time to develop. I didn't realize that I have an open personality. And, I wanted to love everybody. I had rainbow beams, right? At 4. So I wanted to love everybody. And also I would be getting spidey hits. Like I'm intuitive, psychic, channeler, all this stuff. So all these insights from a young age. And so I would be able to talk to people, strangers, like aunties and uncles and like neighbors and everything about these like big grown up concepts and things, because I'm like plucking these out of their auric field in their head, their minds. I had no idea. I didn't know. You don't know, right? And I'm not saying that only projectors are the channelers or whatnot. There's so many generations of Mani-Gens who are psychics as well. But we have that specific effect. We're satellites. So we're designed to pick up on what is happening and read and be able to offer insight. But I would be having all these conversations and nobody could ever understand why all my friends were really, really old or really, really young. It's like the people my age, like they had a hard time connecting because I was like deeply wisdom or deeply at all the ages. So the radical self-expression aspect that I learned, like every 2 years I would lose friendship circles. I put together so many friendship circles, like over the course of like 15, 16, 20 years, over the course of 20 years, all through school, university, work, everywhere I go. It's like, I'm a networker. My unconscious, I'm a 2-4. So 2 is that nerdy hermit. I'm like deep diving into like my secret esoteric wisdom. And then the 4 is the unconscious networker. Oh, you need something? I got a guy for that. Like the social director, the one who gets like, oh, like you need to be meeting this person. You need to be meeting that. Let's go. We're going to meet here. The 5 of us are going to meet here and everything. So it's like, I never had these issues putting together people. So, but I wouldn't understand when I would be evolved out of my own group. So coming back to radical self-expression, I would shut off, come home, cry. My generator mama would be like, would you stop worrying about what other people are thinking about? Like, she used to tell me, you don't need to rely on other people. At that time, she didn't understand that projectors actually need sacral energy from other people. So that's why we keep going out, feed me, So, but radical self-expression that I have integrated beautifully in the past 5 years, through like at the age of 20, not 20, I'm sorry, at the age of 39 to 44, I just turned 44. So these 4.5 years, from COVID to now, it's like, massive, deep comfort of my own self-expression.
Beautiful.
It's like, to put it bluntly, like the don't give a fuck attitude. It's like, I used to feel so sad that people would want to leave me, or if I was going through the Existential Cake coaching certification during COVID. It started in 2019, but it was through 2020. We're doing these exams. It switched to online. It used to be in person. So I was doing it. I was training, and Existential Kink, it's shadow work and everything. But there was a lot of people in the community who were part of this coach training program who were very big on naughty kink, meaning really pushing on the shadow sides and showing the monsters without being safe space themselves. And so I come in here, I'm like I said, I recently learned that I throw rainbow beams, but I come into this space, a brown girl, and I come in and I didn't, until that point, until 2020, I didn't recognize that I am a light, I have a light being. I'm a light being. So just when I hang out with people, when I'm talking, they're fascinated, they're drawn in, they want to hang out, they want to have conversations, because I get all nerdy with all the things I've been being all hermity about, but it didn't occur to me that it triggers people. It triggers people into awakening, and people they want to squash. If they can't shine as they are in their repressed stage, they don't want to be triggered to be open, even though these people were in this program to learn existential kink and to feel joy about the shadows that life shoots at you. Wow. So that was the radical self-expression aspect that came up, was I don't need to worry about it. I don't need to worry about it. None of my business. What is it? None of my goddamn business anyway.
Yeah.
And it's not it's not in I'm going home now kind of thing. It's a sovereignty thing. I'm here. I'm getting the material. I will interact with my colleagues. But if some of my colleagues are going to be bitches, hey, that's in government too. There are bitches everywhere. I use that word lightly. It just means not a female. I use the word bitches as in people who nitpick, who want to manipulate and cause things to their own level, and who want things to go the way they want it to go without having to do they want to be a coach. They want to be in the enlightenment world. They want to be in the mindfulness world and everything, but they don't want to do the healing. And we know that exists.
Yeah.
So
too much, not enough people taking accountability out there.
That's what it is. And it's sad because they're such a huge part of the $1 billion industry. So that's why the people I love to work with are geared towards those who actually hold safe space, because they're okay. They're okay with being disliked. They're okay with being poked and realizing, oh, okay, that's not my crew, but you will be in 2 years when you realize, wait, that girl was really cool to me. And then they call. Do you know how many, what are the full moons that come up? Camille makes fun. Sometimes, she puts descriptions of during this full moon, sometimes blasts from the past will show up. And I laugh about it because I'm yeah, people from 5-10 years ago reach out, hey girl, what's up? I just saw you pop up on Facebook. How you doing? What? Bye. Not to be mean, but it's like sovereignty now, like I have deeply curated incredible personal sovereignty. Like I actually enjoy my company. I enjoy my company myself, not as a crazy person, but as a sovereign person. And then I step out there. And I make sure that I curate that aspect of myself between every interaction that I go through throughout the day. And also, like, when I wake up first thing in the morning, I bring it back to radical self-expression, because you go into the astral plane while you sleep. So you're visiting different realms. You don't know who you're interacting with, who you're upgrading with. You don't know on the conscious level when you wake up. Some days we'll be like waking up and we're like, wow, I feel great today. Today's a damn good day. Other days you'll wake up and you'll feel real tired and drained because you were doing spirituals. Like you're probably wandering around battlefields, like rescuing people on different planets, right? Like it happens. It's a reality. You astral project, to when they call you and stuff.
It happens.
Yes. So then you wake up and you call your power, the aspect the tool that I gave, of calling all your power back home to yourself. So you do that everywhere I've been. And that's how sovereignty grows. By radical self-expression happens when you're at full capacity and your auric field is beyond 1,000 feet.
Ooh, goals.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, is there something you never get asked that you wish someone would ask you? And if you had something else to say, please go for that first.
I was going to tease you. I was like, is it goals or reality?
Nice.
I mean, what if you just said it? What if you just spoke it into existence?
Yeah.
And your subconscious started that program automatically? It was like, Kristen, we got this. We're on it.
Yes. Thank you. Most of the interviews I've done thus far, I know they've been friends of mine. And so I know their histories and their backgrounds and stuff. So it's just sweet to not really know you and know your history and just to be learning so much. I'm like, I'm going to be going back and listening to this episode myself and taking notes.
I love that. Oh, girl, you warm my heart. My little girl. It was like,
You're so tapped in. But yeah, is there something you never get asked that you wish someone would ask you?
Absolutely. So it's like, I'm the safe space. Like everyone comes to me with their stuff. So the one thing that I would love for everybody to ask me is, how are you feeling today? I never get asked that. And then it's not something that you can tell your girl, like, hey, can you ask me how I feel? Can you invite me to share of my feelings, please? I invite you to ask me, how are you feeling, friend? Just for shits and giggles, to answer your question and everything. So
how are you feeling today?
Well, now I feel damn good. Talking to you is like a badass, It's so juicy. It's so juicy. Your questions are incredible. And your vibe, just too good. Too good.
Yay. Ditto. Yeah, this has been wonderful.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you'd like to share with our listeners?
I just want to reiterate the one line. You are the one. You are the one that they called for. You are not a savior. You are the sovereign queen that they all prayed for, died for, survived for, and blessed you with. Be that. Step into your personal body, mind, and power.
Thank you. That's potent. We got some power on this line over here. Woo! And do you have any events or things coming up that you'd want to share with our listeners, or also sharing some social media handles that you have?
Absolutely. I'm going to share them with you after as well.
Okay.
But on Instagram, I am listed as My Alchemist Healer, one word.
Okay.
And you can definitely find me there. And my website is myalchemist.com.
Great.
And LinkedIn, it's fine. There's a few articles on there, but that's fine. Yeah. I'm there as Shantala Surya. But yeah, I do have like amazing upcoming summer programs. So I am calling it Hot Girl Summer for a specific reason, because with this Venus and Taurus transit that we're going through, that we're diving deep into, I am doing specific online retreats to tap into dressing for the girl gaze and pulling the divine masculine back, pulling back from the divine masculine, and actually fully unleashing, the sacred feminine virility. For like, it's like there's just this juiciness that comes when you dress for your sisters and you wear corsets and you're walking around in a retreat with just female like-minded uber sisters who every single person is in a different space and yet comes together to create the most interesting dinner party,
Very
so
cool.
Yeah, that program is called the Muse and Honey Temple.
Okay. And that's on your website?
It's going to be shared on the website, but I do talk about it on most of my work is shared on Instagram. My Alchemist Healer for now. Okay. So, and I do have a mailing list as well. So if anybody connects to me through Instagram, they'll be added to the waiting list. And I have paid offerings. I have scholarship offerings as well. So every time I work with a high-end client, like, one of my one-on-one clients or whatnot who are in the higher range, whenever things go well for them, they usually contribute to my scholarship fund. So then I use that scholarship fund to take on, there are people who are on the list to receive a synergy healing, to receive a whatever, and it's a pay it forward kind of thing. So yeah, I have paid and scholarship people as well so that everybody gets covered at the right time that they need to.
That's awesome. Ditto. I always have offered sliding scale and scholarships. I never want people to be unable to receive services because of money. It's like, no,
absolutely.
We'll figure that out.
Absolutely. So, and I've been fortunate enough that I had 5 people over the past 6 months offer scholarship services. So I've been able to do gift synergy soulful conversations, and they're intimate and potent and they are tailored. Like, you get my full spidey sense antenna on you and your ancestral lineage, like everything. You get all the juicy dirt.
All right. I'm going to have to check that out myself.
For sure. Yes.
Well, thank you so much for this amazing conversation. It was so wonderful to meet you and to hear more about your journey and your life and your services. You're just an incredible human on the planet. And I'm just so deeply grateful to know you and to be in our group together with Vital Mystic. It's just been such a profound experience to be part of that container and just to learn from everybody and to be a part of the stories and the journeys and the ups and the downs and the around the blocks and all the things. It's profound to be part of an online container like that. So I appreciate your energy. Is.
Thank you. And I'm delighted to have met you. You are delicious.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. All right, friends. Well, thank you so much for hopping on. We hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day, and Community Power Rocks. We'll see you next time. Bye. Thank you for joining me on this journey of empowerment and connection on the My Body, My Power podcast. If you loved today's episode, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who inspires you. Together, we're creating a ripple effect of confidence, courage, and light. Until next time, Goddess, keep shining your power.